So may I introduce the fourth speaker, Mr. Tony Wong. Tony Wong is the Chief System Manager for audio. And I think Tony has the latest initiative to lead the planning and implementation of the government cloud platform. And I introduce Tony to share some of his thoughts on that. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, David. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good that we still have a big cloud after the wonderful lunch, and I hope you're still awake, and I hope my presentation will still keep you awake. So I would like to have a short introduction or a briefing about what's the latest initiative of the government in the cloud developments. What I name my topic as government clouds. And I emphasize the S because it's more than one cloud we are talking about. And we deserve to have multiple and different nature of the clouds that suits the different purpose and operation of the government. A little bit background about the cloud journey of the government. In fact, in March last year, we published our government cloud computing strategies, and I no need to elaborate a bit further here because our Government Chief Information Officer, Daniel, already explained a bit to you in the morning. And in fact, way before last year, we already have some early attempt on testing some of the cloud, some of the core technology of the cloud, like virtualizations. And I will go on a bit on that. And in fact, December last year, we successfully conducted a major exercise of doing a virtualization of our central data centers, and which I will elaborate a bit more. And then this year, we are progressively implementing a number of government cloud initiatives, which I will talk a bit of that later. So the cloud, a little recap of our cloud strategies. In fact, the aim is, of course, to reap the benefits of cloud computing, to provide more flexible deployment of our IT resources, more cost-effective development of e-government services, agilities in handling the growing and the fluctuation of both the citizens' demands on IT service and also our bureaus and departments' demand on IT service. And also, with that, we hope to have a better responsiveness to our publics and internal needs. And of course, with that, we also helps to, with the government as a major developer or major adoptions or driver of cloud computing implementation, we also hope that we can facilitate the development of cloud technology and service in the wider industry of Hong Kong. Well, as I said, in fact, a couple of our departments have already do some early adoptions of virtualization in government, which is a very core component of going on with cloud computing. And I just list a few that is doing very well. And in fact, within their individual department, they already start doing consolidation of their equipment, of their platforms, and also enjoy the benefits of putting resources together and provide better and more advanced services without a much increase in their capital costs. And our office is also one of them. As I mentioned, we have an early attempt last year to consolidate, to virtualize our central computer centers infrastructures, what we call the CCCVI initiative. The objective is very simple. We want to optimize our capacity for our central computer center. We want to save cost, time on resource provisions. And of course, with that, we can reduce our footprints in terms of equipment and power consumptions, and to achieve a better or greener ICT operations. And this is, the ultimate objective is to maintain our sustainable development of our center, because most of our computer centers is already some 20 years old, and most of its capacity is already go to their limits. And thanks to the cloud computing technology, we can have the opportunities to doing optimization of our capacities inside without the need to look for a separate site in order to enjoy the sustainable development of the centers with more infrastructural services that can be hosted within the same capacity. And our target is, and in fact some of them is already, we already achieved some of the targets. For example, in terms of reduce the provision time of the system resource from months to days, and also reduce the cost of system resource. For example, the server, storage, and network by 20 to 30%, and reduce our power consumptions by 10 to 40%. It depends on the scale of our virtualization. And now ultimately, we hope to reduce our accommodation requirement by 50%, which means that we can double our capacity in terms of physical accommodation to host more system and more service for our infrastructures. A little bit details about our experience on our VI platform. And in fact, we make reference to the cloud computing module of the UK G Cloud and also the US NIST. And basically, CCCVI is a infrastructure as a service. So we provide virtualized server, storage, and also we already have a very robust network infrastructure that we can ride on in order to help the infrastructure service to make use of. And also we have security management services which ensure systems hosted on our virtualized infrastructure, it's securely protected. They include firewall, intrusion detection, and intrusion prevention systems. And of course, as a core platform for hosting our infrastructure systems, we act a very strong importance on our resilience and load balance design. And of course, the traditional data centers operations, system management services is also something that we are able to provide in a shared environment to facilitate our clients in using the platforms. With this experience, we have a bit of a lesson that we want to share as early adopters. Of course, as early adopters, we need to leverage our external expertise experience. And with our external expertise, we can also help develop our in-house staff, both in terms of operation experience, building the systems, the technical experience, and all that. We can make use of this to help develop our in-house staff. And of course, I'm pleased to update you all that our data center has accredited the ISO 20000 last year. So with that industry best practice in service management, we can have a lot of confidence and also experience in managing a more complex infrastructure from a physical infrastructure to a virtualized infrastructure. And of course, we add very importance on adopting open standards in terms of ensuring our system are interoperable and also portable to avoid lock-in to a particular vendor or product or technologies. And also, being a government data center, we follow rigorously on applying the government security, adopting the government security regulations, complying all the policies and guidelines that help to provide a secure infrastructure for the government systems. And this is also a very important experience we learned in terms of moving forward of developing our bigger cloud initiative. The last bullet is a bit interesting because one of the benefits of using cloud is we don't need a huge amount of capital investment. So it's the CapEx, and we can pay as we go. We can buy our service using a very little upfront operation expenses. But in the government, there's a very different story because we see this CapEx and OpEx as a very distinct financial model. So we need to have some way to manage the difference between using CapEx and OpEx, and then to ensure that our services, which is pay as we go, but our infrastructure is built on the CapEx. So how can we do the cost contribution and all that? And with our support with our accounting experts, we managed to develop an equation that can bridge the two together and help our infrastructure to enjoy the benefits of more cost-effective infrastructure service delivery.